Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You know what? Ever since I started reviewing e-bikes, I wanted to have an experiment where I ride a bike from my house in Chicago all the way to our cabin in New Buffalo, Michigan. And until now, well, I haven't had a bike that I've been able to do that with. Welcome to the Fiido Titan. This is a triple battery beast. They say it'll do up to 248 miles. Well, we're going to see today if this bike is going to make it 80 miles to my cabin in Michigan. So let's get into it. When it came to the unboxing and assembly of this bike, I have to tell you, I have not seen a bike better packed than this one. It was like basically opening up like an iPhone on how well it was packaged. So this bike was exceptionally packaged. It was easy to assemble. When you purchase it, it comes with just the one battery here, but you can get it with this triple battery setup. This bike will come to you as a Class 2 e-bike. Actually, it only goes up to 15 miles an hour, but you can unlock it to Class 3 speeds. When it comes to hitting those Class 2 and Class 3 speeds, you're going to be able to use your thumb throttle over here on your right-hand side, your torque sensor, and your 5 levels of pedal assist. Actually, you can turn it down to 3 levels of pedal assist if you want. The single battery version of this bike weighs 103 pounds and has a maximum payload capacity of 440 pounds. But this triple battery beast that we have right here altogether weighs 125 pounds. The single battery version of this bike costs $14.99 and it comes with a 1-year warranty. As you can see with the version I have here, this is the triple battery version and you can purchase that for $21.97. It only comes in this high step version and they say that the average rider height is between 5'1" to 6'5". It also only comes in this color gray right here. I think it looks this bike looks super sharp. I'm excited about taking it on this long distance. And speaking of long distances, Fiido says that the Titan will go 80 miles on a single battery charge, but this triple battery setup should take me 248 miles. We all know that that is not going to happen. I'm just hoping that I'm going to make it 80 miles to the cabin. Now, those numbers that they come up with, that means if you keep the bike unlocked at 15 miles an hour and you keep it in its lowest pedal assist levels, I have a long way to go. We won't be doing that. I'm going to unlock this bike. We're going to shoot down the road as far as we can until we have to start switching out batteries, and I'll show you that during the review. The motor on the Fiido Titan is a 48-volt, 750-watt brushless rear hub motor. It has a peak power of 1,100 watts and 70 Newton meters of torque. The Titan has a 9-speed transmission. It has a SRIG derailleur. I haven't heard of this company before, but we're going to find out how well that works today. And it has a 9-speed trigger shifter. For stopping power, we have a Diazland 4-piston hydraulic brake system with 203 millimeter rotors on the front and rear. The battery is a 48-volt, 14.5 amp hours with 697.5 watt-hours of power. It is housed inside here. You just have to push this down, and this bike doesn't have keys. You have to put in a code into the bike to release the battery to switch them out. It comes with a 3-amp charger, which means you'll be able to charge this bike up in about 5 hours. This bike has a UL certification of 2849. It is IPX rated 6.5 and the display is rated IPX 6.7. The front forks are by Trauma. They are hydraulic. They have 60 millimeters of travel. There is no preload, but you can lock it out. You cannot help but notice these awesome looking mag wheels that are on this bike. It rocks 26 by 4-inch CST tires. They have an aggressive mountain bike pattern on them and they're puncture resistant. Let's talk size and fit. Now, when it comes to these handlebars, they can be moved forward and back for your comfort. The seat does have a quick release seat post on it. There's no markings on the back, and we're going to see how high up this thing goes. Right here, I see a pattern. That is your highest seating level for this bike for your taller rider. I'm going to put it back down to where mine was because this is how we're riding it today. I am 5'9" with a 32-inch inseam, and this is what I'm going to look like riding this bike today. Normally, I go through Cockpit Operations at this point, but I tell you what, I want to get down the road. We have a long way to go today. I'll end up showing you Cockpit Operations here in a little bit, so let's get on the road and start heading 2 states over. All right, guys, it is time for the sand test. Let's go ahead and put this into Sport Plus or Turbo, and we're gonna see how well this bike does in the sand. We're gonna go with throttle. We're gonna do some pedaling. This bike is so heavy. The sand is so loose. Oh, you can see it wants to go. You can see it wants to go. We just have so much weight. The sand is so loose. We're not making it. This bike is just so heavy with all this on it. Plus I got tons of gear on here. You can see the ruts that we left here in the sand. Let me show you. Look at the ruts that we were just leaving. We were just sinking in the sand. That's how heavy this bike is at the moment. But you know, it's one of those things where it'll get you to the beach, but it won't get you through the beach. We are downtown Chicago. This is Lollapalooza weekend, and I want to be nowhere around that. But check out this beautiful skyline, because this is the last time you're going to see it during this review. We are going to be moving through here, and I am just pretty excited to do this journey. This is something that, you know, I've never done before. I have no idea how it's going to work out. I don't really have it plotted either. My whole goal is just, now that I'm here by the lake, to just stay next to it as long as I can. At some point, we'll have to break out the Google Maps. But for right now, this trail right here is going to lead a long way. One thing that's going to be an issue, and that is going to affect the mileage, is I am heading into the wind. It's a strong headwind, and I wonder how long I'm going to have to be fighting the wind. It might be this entire trip. We are riding in sport. We're cruising about 19 miles an hour. But here's where I like to see how fast I can get this bike to go. So we're going to put it up into Turbo Plus. We're going to kick these gears up. We are in gear 9, and let's see how fast this bike can go. 26 is the fastest I can get it to go, and that is putting a lot of effort in gear 9. We are putting tons of weight on this bike, and that's also going to affect, I mean, I'm 225 pounds. I have a tire pump, I have tools, everything I think that I would need to make this trip, because it's just me doing it. So we've really put the weight on this bike. So far, this bike is incredibly solid. It's also super comfortable, which is good, because I'm definitely going to need that for that long trip today. But nothing has made noise at all. You just hear the shifting, and that's it. When it comes to these fat tires, they say that inflate up to 30 pounds. Well, I have mine at 22 because I want some cushion, you know, but I also want some of that mileage that I'm going to get out of it. So I figured 22 will be a good spot. Because of that, we also won't get the maximum amount of mileage out of this bike, since we're not rocking 30 PSI. But when you're doing a ride this long, you kind of, you want to have some comfort in there, not just distance. Let's go ahead and see how fast the throttle will take us. So right now I'm doing throttle only. Oh, let me go ahead and put it into Turbo Plus. And it looks like 25 miles an hour is going to be our top speed. This display is really low. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's showing 25 miles an hour. There you go. And we are fighting into the wind. So I believe it'd be going faster if we had the wind at our back. Let's try some zero pedal assist riding right here. And I can tell you what, when you're not having any assistance coming to the bike, we have it in 0 right now, and it feels like we are in pedal assist 0. We are only cruising about 10 miles an hour, and I have to keep dropping the gears because this bike definitely feels heavy. So let's go ahead, put it into Eco, see how that feels. You know what, it's not much difference. You can feel that the assist is to the bike, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and test out the torque sensor. Let's crank it going. Oh, kicking up in gear. Yeah, the torque sensor feels nice. I mean, this to me feels like a very premium quality bike. I mean, we're doing 19 miles an hour in Eco, but we're definitely doing it and put it into normal. See how that feels? That allows me to kick it up into gear. We're passing people. And if you're just cruising in normal mode, you're gonna cruise about 17 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and put it into sport, which is what I will have it in most of the time during this trip, or at least I think I will. Still cruising at 17 miles an hour, but when you put it into a higher gear, like I just did, I'm in gear 9, well, you can comfortably cruise at 19 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and put it into turbo. Oh, you feel a little kick then. And we're comfortably cruising at 22. Let's go for Turbo Plus. And now, being in gear 9, it feels like I'm riding a bike that doesn't even have any weight to it, which this This is nice, but it is definitely going to burn up some battery. We're already down to half a battery on this bike. That's why I'm not going to do, that's why we're going to put it back down to sport. And we're going to go for distance with this battery, you know, and then when I put a new battery in, then we'll do like the brake test. If we find a hill, we'll do a hill climb. Yeah, I just don't want to put all the pressure on this one battery, kill it without giving me an idea on how far I can actually go with the other two batteries. And every time I have to switch out a battery, that's when we'll do a mileage check. We are already down to 2 bars and I've got yellow. One thing about this bike is that I cannot let the battery die on it because you have to use the control pad or the app to make the battery release. So if I totally kill the battery on this thing, I'm stuck. I won't be able to get the battery out. It is official. I haven't gone this far on a review before heading away from Chicago. Like now I'm into new territory. I don't know this trail. I'm just hoping it all works out. Look at how far away I am from Chicago. That is awesome. When it comes to trips like this is definitely an adventure. We are on the lakefront bike route, so we're doing pretty good. I haven't looked up Google Maps yet, so I've made it a lot farther than what I thought I would without having to do that. All right, we are entering Indiana. This is state number 2. Don't really feel safe on this road. I think I need to be somewhere else. I am pleasantly surprised on how long this battery has been holding on red, but I'm also not doing any crazy stuff anymore. We're just riding at a consistent speed. All right, guys, we just lost the last battery, and this looks like a safe place to switch them out. And I'll show you how that is done. You guys see, well, it went from 0, now it just came back to red. That is enough for me to switch this thing out. We're definitely not gonna risk it. According to the Fiido app, we've gone 28.5 miles. We've been riding for 2 hours and 14 minutes. That's good, considering the stuff that I put that original battery through, and it made it 28 miles. So I'm feeling pretty good that we're gonna make it with these 3 batteries. Strava is showing 27.72, so we're not doing bad there either. Let me show you how we change out this battery. First, we're gonna pop this cover. You just push that button down and it releases it, and then this cover comes off and your battery is inside here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop on the Fiido app, pop right here, and I'm gonna hit this button. It let me know that it disconnected. You push the battery in, it comes out a little bit, and then there's a little tab here, and you push it down, and it's supposed to release the battery. There we go. And we pull it out, and there it is. Then we take it over to here, and we unzip this one, where we have our fresh battery. Has a handle on it. You just switch them out, slap that down there at the bottom, hear it click, you're good to go. Put your cover back on it, lock it back into place, and you're good. Now my question is, since we had to switch out the battery, did we lose the trip information from the Fiido app? Yeah, we lost it. So the most you're gonna get out of this, which makes sense because it is connected to the bike, when the battery runs out, you're gonna be done. So at least we know what we did on the first set, 28.5, and we'll have this one going. But Strava's tracking it. Oh, and so is the, let me bounce this over here. That shows we've gone 37.3, but we had 9.8 miles on this bike. I forgot to reset this one because I was doing everything else. This is the display. This, if you hit the M button, it shows you your miles per hour. This shows that we're in rocket mode, which means we're going faster than 15 miles an hour. That's your little indicator there showing that it's hooked to the Bluetooth through the app. These are your different settings: Eco, Normal, Sport, Turbo, and Turbo Plus. We've been spending our time in Sport. That's what's keeping us at about 20 miles an hour. These are your controls over here. Right here, this controls the headlight. This bounces between those different levels. Here's your electronic horn. And then this is the M button. Then once you hit it, it changes this screen right here and gives you more information. Over here is your thumb throttle. And then this, when it comes to shifting the gears, what I like about this is this takes it down in gear and then you still use your thumb to put it up in gear. So normally you have to use your index finger, but no, with this, you're just hitting here and hitting there to go up in gear. Here's your rear brake lever, front brake lever, grips. I've been running with the headlight on. When the cool thing is when the headlight turns on, it doesn't dim the screen. Look, and that's a pretty bright headlight. That's what I've been using for safety. It has this tail light right here that does brighten up whenever I hit the brakes. What a beautiful part. Obviously did not know this was here, and what a pleasure it is. Oh my gosh, you can barely see Chicago. Hang on, let me show you. You guys see it? You probably don't see it on this GoPro, but I can see it. It's stuff like this that makes these kinds of adventures just worth it.
What's going on?
I'm riding this bike to New Buffalo, Michigan. I've already made it 30 miles, but I'm like, shit, is this, I'm thinking I'm heading into a industrial complex. It isn't going to get me out of here.
A little bit. It'll be cheap.
Well, I just now, and I'm like, because I'm trying to keep obviously close to the lake. And I was like, oh shit, now it wants to take me down into Gary, Calumet City and Hammond.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna really have a choice but to go through like Gary and stuff. Yeah, well, this will get you through there. I know it kind of looks like you're going through an industrial.
Well, that's what I wanted to make sure. I want to make sure I wasn't doing all this and then be stuck on a dead end and have to come all the way back.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'll make it through.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to see if you. I know you're gonna make it. I'm not
But you're just curious, like, yeah.
Don't do me gloom. I just want to make sure you.
No. I get it. Yeah. Gentlemen, I appreciate it.
I'm already subscribed. You got one more subscribers.
All right, these guys say I can make it all the way through. I'd rather ride a road like this than ones where a major state road where people are honking at me. Yikes. This is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Hoo-yah. Ah, there we go. A nice empty road. Oh, we got this big thing of water right here. And hang on. This is what we're dealing with right now. And I can't see it, so we're going to cruise through it slowly. Oh, it's getting deeper. Oh. Google Maps, what are you doing? We made it through it though. We have a long train ahead of us, or ahead of me, that I gotta wait on. So let's talk about this helmet. This is the helmet by Dotfee. It's called the Defender 1. And I am giving this helmet away. Not this one, not this particular one. You'll be able to choose your own. They have different colors and stuff like that. But this has become my favorite hat or helmet because it's so light. And it gets a lot of air through the top of it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's well ventilated. It fits really nice. And because of that, I'm giving away 3 of these. One in each one. I have 3 videos that I'm giving a helmet giveaway. To win this giveaway, all you got to do is make a comment on the video. It doesn't have to be about the helmet. I mean, you can say you like the helmet. You can say you don't like the helmet. If you don't like the helmet, you're still entered in the contest. So there you go. That's how that's going to work. This has been it's been a crazy day. And I still have 45 miles and 3 hours and 48 minutes to get where I need to get to. I am back down to 1 red bar on this second battery. Shows that we still have 40 miles to go. I really need that bar to last I need this battery to last another 10 miles for me to think that I'm gonna make it. You know, riding this bike so far as I've gone, seat is super comfortable. Thank God. That would have been terrible. And really just everything about riding this bike is excellent. Now you do feel the weight. You can tell this is a heavy bike. You do feel the weight in the back because of the batteries. But if you weren't going for a super long distance and you just took those batteries out, well, this thing would feel a lot lighter, obviously. Well, there was a road there that I missed. Nice, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, this is beautiful. This is the type of stuff I was hoping I would see on this trip, and it is right here. This is the kind of stuff that makes it worth it. And apparently this trail goes for at least, what, 5.3 miles? Because this is a torque sensor, my legs are tight. Unlike a cadence sensor where it's just gonna go whatever speed on the level that you have it. Well, since I've been keeping it into sport, I've been using a lot of legs during this ride. And they're feeling it, but they feel good though. We have now run out of battery, or at least it just came down to this part. Like I said, we're not going to risk it. Still shows I have 30 miles to go, so this is going to be very close on whether I'm going to have enough to make it to the cabin. So let's go ahead and switch this battery out and put in our third battery. Now we have the battery back in there. Let's take a look at Strava. Strava shows that we've gone 53 miles. We did 28 before. All right, it's going to be very close to see if we make it to the cabin because we are still 30 miles away. Now, in case you guys didn't realize, I have been pedaling the entire time. I haven't been using throttle. The only time I use throttle is like right when I take off or something like that from a stop sign. But I haven't been just cruising along with throttle during this time frame as I'm trying to get the most out of this battery. The batteries that I can. I mean, this is going to be close. Still shows I'm 23 miles away. And we've already dropped a bar on the battery. This is so nice. It's trails like this that make this trip an absolute pleasure. You can see how stable this bike is. Oh, this road's rough. Ah! Yeesh. Okay, so you can tell this bike is built really well. But yeah, I definitely have to put my hands back on there. One of the things that I have noticed about this bike is that as that battery did drop lower, I didn't seem to notice any power difference with this bike, which is pretty awesome. Although I'm also not, going full speed the entire time. I'm right at a pace that's going to be comfortable that I think is going to give me the most mileage. And so there was no pulsing with the bike, none of that kind of stuff. I don't even feel like it got slower. It might have been a little bit more effort on my legs maybe, but I don't even remember. This bike is incredibly smooth. Well, they say that road is closed, but I need to use it. How closed is it? And I don't think there's a way across it. We're gonna take a look. Yeah, there's no way. Yep. Well, this is grim. Yeah, we're gonna take a detour. What if I rode the tracks? That's what we're doing. We are gonna ride the tracks for a while because I know this bike can handle it. We'll see if Google Maps can figure it out. Oh, that thing beats you up. Today's high is 90 degrees, but areas like this make it feel totally doable. I mean, I've got a great breeze going. I'm in the shade, and even when I'm not in the shade, I have a good breeze. Although I've noticed that I have been fighting the wind this entire trip. And I'm down to my last 3 bars. It says we got 14 miles to go. Come on, baby, it's gonna be close. One thing I really like about these 4-piston brakes with these bigger rotors is that this bike does stop on a dime, even though we are super heavy. I mean, so far, I think this is about the heaviest bike that I've reviewed, let alone with it being rear heavy from those extra batteries. But this thing is a tank, guys. It's like a high-end SUV, which I have a couple other bikes like that, but this one, it is really luxury is the word that comes to mind when I think about this bike. This is called the Calumet Trail. I had to go ahead and plug in my phone because it was getting in the red, and that has all the information on this trip on it, so there's no way I could let it die. But I was smart enough to bring a portable battery pack with me and a long enough cord because there is no USB port on this bike. If so, I would have had it plugged in a long time ago. Definitely on this review, we have been hitting all kinds of terrain, and I have to tell you, this bike's made it through every single bit of it. All of this stuff that was smacking my legs So they're gonna be looking pretty rough by the time we get done. Yikes, ouch, ouch, ouch. We are down to 2 yellow bars on the battery. Still shows that we have 12 miles to go. This is gonna be super close. We are down to 1 red bar. I am not very optimistic. We still have 10 miles to go. This might save me. This might actually make it happen now because it'll be nice and smooth. Let's see, 8.9 miles, 2 bars left. Let's go. This brings me so much joy, guys. You have no idea. Right here is the electrical power plant for Michigan City. All right, now we are gonna have to put it into sport mode. I just need a little bit more power. I am pretty worn out. Legs are tired, knees hurt, lower back is tired, but I'm feeling very optimistic that we're gonna make it. We just hit Michigan. That is state number 3. Oh my gosh. Woo, we made it. Mosquitoes are attacking. Woo, mosquitoes, get away. Oh, yeah. Turn this mic off. What's up with these mosquitoes? Stop it. They are some hungry puppies. Happy to have made it. Oh my gosh. My wife was nice enough to come to the cabin to pick me up so I don't have to charge this bike up to ride it back home. If you noticed that it does still have some battery power on that 3rd battery. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this bike home and then we're going to finish exhausting the battery on that bike because I want to see if it's going to, like, how it's going to actually shut down. Plus, I owe you guys a hill climb and a brake test. Now, this bike is over the weighted value of this rack. Ugh. But I'll go ahead and I'll unload the things off of this to make it lighter. This is my favorite rack. It's the one I use the most. It is called the Soul Rack, and it is by Young Electric. Can hold up to 100 pounds. This bike is more than that. So like I said, I'm going to strip it down some. And it's the one I use all the time. If you're interested in one, put a link in the description. It is day 2, and well, we need to finish this review. I owe you a hill climb. I owe you a brake test. So what I ended up doing was I charged one of the batteries all the way up to full last night. That way, here in a minute, I'm going to switch these out so that the bike has full power, and I'm going to do those tests because it would be unfair to try to do it with low battery. So once I knock those out, then I'm going to switch it back to the battery that's going on with this bike right now that's super low, and then I'm going to turn Strava on, and we're going to see how many more miles I'm able to get out of this bike before it totally dies. After that, we'll do final thoughts. One thing I believe I didn't show you is that you don't have to pull the battery out to charge the bike. Right here is your charging port, so you are able to charge the battery while it's in the bike. As we are on our way to the hill climb, let's go ahead and see how fast this bike will hit. Top speed, we're going to do throttle only first. We do have it in Turbo Plus. Let's go ahead and hit the start button, and let's see how long it takes to get there. It does take off a little slow, but it is in control. But I feel like we are picking up pretty quick on speed. It is a much cooler day today than it was yesterday. It was 92 degrees was the high yesterday. And right there, boom, 26. Now we are going to do top speed, see how long it takes. Pedal assist only a few people ahead of us, so we should be good. Ready, go. There we go. Definitely quicker than using throttle. Oh, one thing I also realized is that I did not check the speedometer versus the display. And right now, this bike shows that we are going 2 miles slower. The GPS says we're doing 19 miles an hour. The display showing that we're doing 17. So because of that, our top speeds that we've been hitting have been 28 miles an hour. It is time for the hill climb. This hill right here is between 15 to 20% grade. So some parts 15, other parts are 20. And we're gonna see how well this bike does making it up the hill. We're doing throttle only first. We have it in Turbo Plus. Just double checking, do we have it in Turbo Plus? We do, so let's go and see how it does. That slow takeoff kind of gets you, but it feels like we're gonna make it up no problem. I mean, we're not going fast though, but we're still making it. Yeah, it's got no problem at all. You can feel the torque of this bike as it was just digging down deep to get us up the hill. Now we're just going to use pedal assist only, still in Turbo Plus. I kicked it down to like gear 5, so let's go and see how that does. Oh, see, the torque kicked in immediately, making it super easy to make it up this hill. I'm barely putting in any effort. I do not feel it on my legs. My legs are just moving. And yeah, easy breezy. This thing is a hill climber. It is brake test time. We are going to do it in 2 modes. The first one, we're going to do 15 miles an hour, which is what the bike rides when it is unlocked. And then after that, we'll do it at full speed. 17 feet, and we were actually at 16 miles an hour. These 4-piston brakes, these bigger rotors, definitely help the bike stop for sure. Time for round 2, full speed. Let's go. Oh, man, do these brakes grip. Yeah, this bike stops. It stopped right at 35 feet. Now we are going to go ahead and put that last battery in there, and then that way we can figure out how far this bike actually went. We are turning Strava on. I have replaced the battery, as you guys can see, hopefully. This is how it was left yesterday when I made it to the cabin. And now we're just going to take whatever mileage that I get on this, and we're going to add it to what we did yesterday. I have put it back into sport because that's what I was riding yesterday. When it comes to this display in bright sunlight, you can see most of all of it. It's hard to see these different colors on which different modes you're in, but the main thing, you can see your speed and you can definitely see your battery indicator. So those are like the most important things to me. And I do like how the display is just built into the stem. It just keeps it sleek. I mean, really, I feel like this bike was like built like high class, if that makes sense. I don't know if high class is what I'm thinking of. It's just built extremely well. The presentation and everything about it, I really like this bike. I do notice that the bike is slowing down and that I have to put more effort into it to keep doing the speed limit I was doing. Before I was doing about 17 miles an hour, and now I'm doing 13, and it feels heavy. The last 2 batteries, right when I saw it pop to that, we went ahead and switched them out. I don't expect this bike to do any pulsing or anything like that. I just feel like it's going to give me all it has until it can't anymore. I am hoping that it'll give me a low battery reading and maybe stop the assist, but keep the bike going so that I can use the app and change out the battery. You know, let's go ahead and test out the throttle and see if that even works. Yeah, it works. Or does it? No, the throttle is not working. Well, it is. We're doing 9 miles an hour via throttle. It is not providing any more assistance to the bike, which is awesome though, because the display is still on, which tells me that I can switch out these batteries and make it home. I was afraid that it was going to be totally shut off. The bike would go dead when it didn't give you any power anymore. They must have a fail safe in there to where it just quits giving you assist, and now you can switch out the batteries. So I'm going to switch out the batteries, get this bike home, give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, I have made it back, and we have to start off by talking about the mileage that this bike can do. Now, yesterday, Strava showed that we went 84.29 miles, and so did the display. So that was also correct. And then today, I went another 4 miles, knocking out the rest of this battery right here, giving us a total of 88.29 miles. Now, if you take a look at the other 2 batteries that I didn't totally drain out when I went ahead and switched them, I know that I could have got another 2 miles out of that, making this bike will do 90 miles on a 3 battery, you know, on a day trip if you're using all 3 batteries. This bike is damn near perfect. Right there was nothing about this bike that I would change or that I felt that needs to be improved. I mean, which is outstanding. You know, I did that 45 or the 84-mile ride yesterday, and it didn't hurt my butt at all. Like, I was able to go to the gym today, had no issues riding, and that is incredible. I wasn't even wearing padded shorts. I just had faith in the bike that it would get me where I needed to get me in a comfortable way, and 100% this bike did do that. I mean, it really did. As I'm thinking about, I mean, I love the saddlebags. Those seem to work out really well. And the fact that you're able to switch these and just carry 2 extra batteries with you, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. So like if you're thinking about the single battery version or the triple battery version, well, I'd go with the triple battery version, especially if you plan on doing any kind of long trips, because you can do it and have a total peace of mind. Now, if you are interested in the Fiido Titan, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. It's going to take you right to this bike, so that way you don't have to go looking around for it. Also, if I have a discount code, I'm going to throw that down there as well. And let's not forget that all you have to do is put a comment on this video to have a chance to win this helmet. Somebody in my comments on this video at the end of August is going to win one of these. It has different colors. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below so you can take a look, see the different colors that they have, see the helmet, things like that. If you decide you want one, well, there'll also be a discount code to save you on that. But you have a chance to win this. I'll do a video at the end that I'm going to announce 3 winners, one from 3 videos that I am doing the giveaway with. So your chances of winning are pretty good. I have to tell you that this is the absolute longest video that I have ever filmed. I've never been on a bike that's gone so far, and it's made me super, super happy. And you were there. You were there during the entire thing. And I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you again, enjoy the ride.